The Thai government has simplified some of the conditions of the LTR, the long-term resident visa, and that's exactly what we want to talk about in this video. So the LTR visa in Thailand is essentially one of the best visas you can get in Thailand because the old tax advantages in Thailand actually remain in place. So you can still bring your foreign income to Thailand without having to pay tax in Thailand if you bring it to Thailand in the following year, for example, the year after you earn it. And this is how foreign income was generally taxed in Thailand in the past until 2024, but then Thailand changed the rules. However, with the LTR visa, you can still use these huge tax advantages, so it's no wonder that the visa is very popular, and to date, nearly 10,000 LTR visas have been issued by the Thai government, and the requirements for the visa are quite high, and this means realistically, many will not be able to use the visa, and there are different categories of visas, such as the LTR visa for pensioners, the LTR visa for private individuals, or the LTR visa for people who work for a foreign company. And as part of these simplifications, nothing has changed in the pensioner variant of the LTR visa, but the other two categories have changed, and it is no longer necessary for private individuals to report current income here. So previously you had to prove that you had at least $80,000 in income per year, and this is no longer the case now. And now you still have to prove that you have assets of at least $1 million, and then you have to invest an additional $500,000 in Thailand, and you can do this in real estate or in government bonds or other assets. So as I said, you no longer have to prove income, and the other category of LTR visa, for example for remote workers, is for people who work for a foreign company but do so from Thailand. And we ourselves have clients who have received this visa category here already, and we work together with an agency that is also accredited on the official government side. So if you can convince the employer that you work from home and that home can also be in Thailand, then this visa is a really fantastic option. So previously the employer had to be a large company that generated at least $150 million in sales per year. So you couldn't work for a small company essentially, and this criterion has now been relaxed. Now there is only $50 million, so not $150 million that the company, so the employer, has to generate in sales. And if you work for a subsidiary of a multinational company, for example, and that subsidiary doesn't make 50 million, then that's okay as long as a parent company does. And the final change, which many of you will also welcome, is that the number of dependents, previously limited to 4, who could also use the visa, has been lifted. So now you can bring children, you can bring spouses and parents with you, even if there are more than 4 people. So all in all, pretty attractive changes here to the LTR visa in Thailand. Of course, it has to be said that the requirements are still quite high, so it's definitely not easy to get this visa. You still have to have assets or the appropriate income, and there's no other way, but that's exactly what the Thai government wants. Of course, there are still other visa categories, for example, the elite visa or the pensioner visa. You can of course still use this, but the downside is that you will then have to pay taxes on all income that you essentially transfer to Thailand, at least if you are subject to Thai tax. On the other side, you only have to pay tax in Thailand if you stay here for more than 180 days per year, so essentially more than half a year. So if you have the elite visa, for example, and you stay only 100 days per year in Thailand, then this doesn't really matter. And then you can essentially transfer as much money to Thailand as you want, and the tax liability does not apply. But if you become fully liable to tax in Thailand, which is the case after 180 days of presence, then you must pay the corresponding tax on the income that you transfer to Thailand. But here too, this does not apply to money that has already been taxed. Then you can use the double taxation agreements, but otherwise you are essentially liable to pay taxes. And even if you do not have to pay taxes, you must submit a return and then disclose your worldwide income. And all of these problems don't exist with the LTR visa, which means that anyone who can use the LTR visa and wants to live in Thailand should of course definitely look into this visa and clarify whether they meet the requirements. Now in 2024 the tax changes in Thailand were too complicated for many people, and this led to many people cancelling their plans to move to Thailand, and many people simply said, I don't want to move there anymore. And for these people there is another solution further south in Asia, namely in Malaysia. And Malaysia particularly distinguished itself here. So Malaysia recently decided that foreign income should remain tax-free in the future. And there are also interesting visa categories in Malaysia, so this could perhaps be an alternative for you if Thailand turns out to be too complicated for you. Or it is possible for you to simply spend less than 180 days per year in Thailand and also spend less than 180 days per year in other countries, and then you do not establish tax residency in any country. So essentially there are various ways to avoid taxes in the best possible way, but if you are interested in this LTR visa, then you can now use these simplifications that I presented earlier. If you also want to emigrate, if you're interested in countries like Thailand, if you want to set up a company abroad or simply optimize your tax burden, I would be very happy to have a consultation with you. You can click on the first link in the description and get in touch with us. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one. Bye.